I love this food education summit because so many things have popped out, especially from the students here. One of the things that I want to highlight, though, is that we have a whole generation, 2 generations, really under big ag influence, where all the food systems have been consolidated into 5 big corporations, global corporations that control the supply, push the crops, and determine which are subsidized by taxpayers, set the price, and dominate the markets. So we are talking about, yes, social media and getting information, but that is under this tremendous weight of big ag dominance, of what's pushed. And that is where the concept healthy eating came from. Keep in mind, it used to be just eating, right? We are a species that feeds ourselves for a millennia, thousands of years. We have known how to feed ourselves from the earth, right? That supplies it. But now we have this concept of having to relearn healthy eating. Why? Because the system is rigged to profit. The system is rigged to profit, and now we have to push against that undercurrent. And I love, Delilah, you talked about empowering people over systems. Keep in mind, because the system has taught us as individuals we're failures if we're unhealthy. We're individual failures when that is a system designed to profit, to push cheap and now unhealthy foods, processed foods, big sugar into convenience and cheap food, and that's by design. And so it's really short-circuited local produce, local suppliers, locally grown. But I also wanted to acknowledge, is it Victina? I love your concept of maybe a student's choice menu. I sort of heard that come out of the dietary home ec, is to celebrate what is the student's choice menu that they would want to share, and have that like once a week, like Delilah's student choice or whatever. But adolescence is a great time to kind of to mobilize, because I find a lot of students really want ethically sourced food, a food that isn't subject to cruelty if it's animals, isn't subject to slave labor or exploitation labor of farm laborers. And so if we can really figure out a way to incorporate people's desire to find ethically sourced foods that are supporting our local farm and the local supply chain, how can we implement that, again, as an antidote to big ag that has dominated our markets and our food supply chain? So deliberately denying access. So and I loved the idea of figuring out, as policymakers, how can we collaborate with the lived experience to create better policy, because these food systems aren't an accident. And the lack of medical training isn't an accident, and the healthcare system is interconnected with the food system. And that has also become a for-profit industry. So how do we change that as policymakers? We got to collaborate with you all and your lived experience and your expertise, and I can't wait to do that.